It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got the Panthers' reigning league MVP. He's been sensational as he leads the league in touchdown passes. It's the Panthers and the 49ers, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the San Francisco 49ers and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Set to go, Younghoe Koo ready to do the honors. And off we go from Uptown Charlotte. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Now a first carry for their fullback. Room here to run. There he goes, left side. Past the 20. Touchdown, Carolina.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point attempt to come here. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers.
They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it. But otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
Here's Mitchell.
And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return.
And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Now this offense and Elijah Mitchell coming back onto the field now.
Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
The numbers last week for Mitchell. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Throwing now is Lance.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were excellent a week ago in a victory over Arizona.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 11 yards and a Panther first down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader. And quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing. And let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real. And it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On the give, this is their fullback. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, this offense, Charles, well, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, with something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10.
At their own 24.
Here's Lance.
Complete. This is Mitchell. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards.
And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
They'll run with Mitchell.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown.
Elijah Mitchell with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the 49ers have got it back to within a score.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken in at the 3.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. The 40. 20. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Carolina. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge it. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Now the try here for the point after. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
And San Francisco gets set to go here.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. goes out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. A give to the fullback on the dive. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play. Who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The 49ers settling in for their next drive.
And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved though if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On second down, here's Mitchell. And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To throw, it's Lance. Screenplay setting it up for Mitchell. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. This is taken at the 23. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it. And he goes out and
he's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. He's going to take another shot here. And this is caught. Touchdown! A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house. Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10.
Okay, break.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Second time in this first half now, Charles, that he's coughed up the football.
And both times, I think, they were in spots where he's got to think about covering up the ball. He's got to revert to his fundamentals in those practice drills where they carry it through traffic. He's not out in the open field where he can swing it a little bit, cover it up, and take care of it.
Back to throw is Carter. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That one goes for 24 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball?
Kyle Shanahan doesn't care much for that last call, so out comes the red challenge flag. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So for Kyle Shanahan, he had it right, as the challenge is a good one. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Uses the stiff arm. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still first down.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Back to throw. Carter. This is caught. Touchdown, Panthers. A great effort there. A touchdown on a kick return and now one through the air. And the Panthers have opened the lead up to 30. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the end result, a Panthers touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Elijah Mitchell ready to get back to work with the rest of the 49er offense.
And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously, the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's
I am.
miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down.
He sets to fire deep. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Oh, look at the juke.
And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. A big play there for Carolina. 43 yards.
And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way.
That's Brown. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Panthers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away.
And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
Ready up.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Let's go now. Check contact. Check contact.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. The final shot before break. Carter going up top. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. A great effort there as time expires in the first half. And the Panthers will extend their lead on the final play of the half. Point after, right down the middle. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, and that one getting close to halftime with the Falcons out in front. Justin Herbert with a touchdown pass. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Trevor Lawrence, 4 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, it's been no contest in terms of the rushing yards. You see a much, much brighter picture there. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
On 2nd and 9,
Lance.
that's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
Lance and Kittle in sync for the 49er first. And Lance now to throw.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Shotgun now for Lance.
Gets this one to use check. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll go option to the short side.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Green, split red, split yellow.
Able to slither by. And a short gain down to about the 33.
Yellow, one, blue, check.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Now Lance.
Oh, trying to fit it into Shepard, but it's intercepted.
And the Niners are going to have it here just past the 25.
Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how anytime you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Now, let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. 5 yards remain on second down.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
They gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play. They're able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
47 yards on the ground for him so far.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A 13-yard touchdown run.
And the Panthers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Lance and the 49ers now, 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. The interception, he'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Lance going to throw.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
87 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command.
Lance now on first down. And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to to the 2-minute warning. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. After the sack on first down, Lance. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here's another interception. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Panthers, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they